here because the filters don't work sometimes. Lighting and a little better. This better. So here I am. I am here. So, yesterday, as you noticed, I went, to my surprise, discovered that the DEI director at Lucasfilms had changed. Queen Denchuku, I think that's how you pronounce her last name, moved on to Disney. What's weird about this? Anybody want to hazard a guess? She moved on last November. So I am very intrigued by all that because it just, her leaving the way she did doesn't, I mean, it makes sense and it doesn't. You know, here's what you can say from this. She had this is what you can surmise and theorize on. She had an opportunity to go to a bigger job. She took that opportunity because, and then you start thinking, okay, so the new guy that took over for her is named Bobby Rodriguez, and he looks like he's 25. He looks like a kid, but he's Latino, just like the young guy, young Mr. Sandoval, took over for, oh gosh, I can't remember her name, this black woman who was the social media person at Lucasfilm. So those are two things that we know for sure. Turn over. Here's the thing. I want you guys to listen. Who else is left that's still on that list? Because I swear to God, Miss Denchuku's name and picture were literally still on that list. Okay. On the Lucasfilm website a couple of days ago. I mean, literally, it was. I said I was like, you know, and I started thinking, who else is gone? So yes, I do have questions out for the Intrepid Sparrow. Hopefully, he'll get back to us and just, you know, kind of fill in the blanks because it could be nothing. But quiet leavings have happened before, as with the case of Michelle Rejwan was a very public, I would say, public execution, being thrown under the bus by Kathleen Kennedy. Carrie Hart, she disappeared off of the Lucasfilm website, and people just like with Denchuku, it was like, where'd Carrie Hart go? What happened to her? Found out she got blamed for Solo, and probably got blamed for The Last Jedi. Kennedy had to, you know, pull something out of her ass to save her job, and so, you know, the token DEI hire, diversity hire, got thrown under the bus. Yeah, she did. She was one of the people that is listed as a producer of Solo. Hi, Riley. I don't know who you are, but I'm gonna probably hide you. We call Solo here a Soy Wars story because it sucks. The movie sucks. Awful Ehrenreich sucks. You know, and there you go. Okay, so anyway, so what I'm thinking now is there are other people on that list that aren't there anymore, that it hasn't been updated. And you know, you look every day. That not you know, I'm encouraging people out there who are interested to look every day. Keep a list of who's on there now, and then see if it changes. It's easy. And then there are ways of checking to see where they went, because there are people who don't update their LinkedIn in other places, and there are people who do. Because I am of the philosophy is you guys need the information to go and choose for yourself what you want. Okay, and that's it. Here's another thing I've noticed. Hi Russia. Don't be a troll here. No, we don't like Ukraine, but we don't talk about that shit. So there you go. Zelensky's a little thief, but neither here nor there. Here's something else I noticed. Certain Lucasfilm employees have tweeted out interesting things regarding the sequel trilogy. The fact that they're small things, but I'm going to say this. I think a lot of the defenders of the sequel trilogy back in 2018, whenever it was like, the Elmo and the fire gift, he's going like this. Twitter was like that. Okay, Twitter was like that because so many people were outraged. And I'm going to say one of the most notorious defenders of the sequels put something out there or agreed with something and then tried to back it off. And I'm starting to wonder, as we get closer to something breaking about Kennedy, because I don't think she's in the United States right now. I think she's in Malta or wherever Frank is while he's filming Jurassic World. And he does get some beautiful pictures, I got to admit. I mean, I'm like, damn, I want to go to Malta. Please don't have a nuclear war. There are places I want to see. I don't think any of these people, no trolling here, Clint. I don't think any of these people really like the sequel trilogy. And as we get closer to probably a lot of information coming out as Kennedy goes, we'll talk a little bit about what Chris Gore had to say about her. You're going to see more and more of them distance themselves. Now, we know what Sparrow said to Cameron, because newbies tend to be trolls from the Pablo Hidalgo world of buying bots, which is what they are, because I've checked in on this, and I've had internet forensic people looking on the bot activity, and it's somebody bought a bunch of bots. That's all I can say. And I'm not going to blame the Walt Disney Company because they wouldn't. Why would they do that? Anyway, as it gets closer to something going on, and I'll go back to my main point. Sparrow told Cameron, a lot of the people that were on the list, a lot of Kennedy supporters, have dumped her now for what Favreau wants to do. And I think you're going to see a lot of it play out publicly with these people. Okay, they're going to act like they never did what they did. They're going to act like they're not part of the problem, and that they didn't have any problem, or they didn't have any say in the bullshit. Even though let's just remind everybody that as Rian Johnson was writing The Last Jedi, he's up in San Francisco at Lucasfilm, hanging out with the main story group. Okay. Who's in that main story group? All right. So you can sit there and say, I'm not on the leadership list, blah, blah, blah. You're the one that gave them him, or maybe he calls himself they, them, or fucking, whatever now. But you could see the influence of the story group in that massively horrible movie. I mean, it's pathetic. It is a pathetic film. Okay. And it's just so you're probably gonna see people like Matt Martin and others back off their support publicly. Now, we also know that Matt Martin is one of the biggest defenders of the sequels. Pablo Hidalgo, we've got the receipts. If you have access to Ichibaca's archives, you've got all of that. Attacking the fans, Ryan Johnson's tweet about man babies. It's there. Twitter is forever, So just watch, because it's not like they're throwing her under the bus. They're trying to save their jobs. All right. Can't really blame them. Don't think they'll be able to, but that's just me. What else is going on? So let's talk about Doomcock's video. He's talking about the trailer for the Lego movie. Okay. The Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, whatever. Luke says something to, I think it was Rey. And Doomcock is taking it to he's extrapolating an idea that perhaps they're allowing the sequel trilogy to be spun off into a different universe. Because when you watch it, let me just a second. Hopefully this will work. Hopefully the right project. All right. Okay, let me read what Mazer sent to me. Okay. Luke says to someone, I'll say Rey, let me see if I have this right. In your galaxy, my dad is mostly evil till he turns good for like 5 minutes and then dies. My own nephew betrays me and kills most of my best friends. And I spend decades alone until I use the Force so hard that it kills me. Now, the line is somewhat humorous, and I get what is being implied here. That if Kennedy had any power, she would have never have allowed it to take place, that line. Okay, I get where he's going. I don't know if the Lego movie, well, I guess it would. It would fall under the purview of the Lucasfilm leadership. Do I agree with Doomcock? In theory, I do. Okay. Again, the last time we saw Darth Stupidious, she was at the Star Wars night at Dodger Stadium being interviewed, and that was it. There you go. That's it. And it seems to me that when the Olympics were going on in Paris, that she might have been there with her husband and other people. Did you guys hear that? That was quite okay. Anyway, Rudy had to go to church early, so I'm holding down the fort by myself. And sometimes this house has things that are beeping, and it's weird. Anyway, it's not the alarm, because I'm down here. Anyway, that was just weird. And it wasn't the door opening, because that has a different sound. Anyway, so what I think is going on is we're probably getting ready to see a shift at Lucasfilm and a change. Again, they don't necessarily update their website. Okay. I also have some stuff about the edits to a certain Lucasfilm Story Group's Wikipedia page that were discovered and pulled off of the website for me. And I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I was thinking about doing an expose. I might still do it. It just depends on how I feel. I'm not sure. But I haven't done a live stream in a while, so I thought I would do one today before I have to get ready for church. I just wanted you guys to kind of ponder what I'm thinking here. There's something outwardly or like latently under the surface going on. D23, there's no mention of hey Peter, how you doing? Matt, how you doing? I didn't notice you were here. There's something latent going on here at Lucasfilm. No mention of the Rey movie at D23. I want to bring you guys up to date, you newbies up to date. We did get a Sparrow update Thursday night. Or no, Tuesday? I can't remember. And he did say that the Acolyte did drive people off of Disney Plus. Now, Disney Plus did post its first profit ever. However, probably using Hulu and the other streaming platforms they have to push it over the top. Because, and also the fact that perhaps the Acolyte time wasn't counted. Okay. We'll have to see in November when the fourth quarter earnings call comes. But it's got what, 18%? Let's see, I didn't check it today. An 18% RT Rotten Tomato score. And you get the 5 idiots who liked it, who are extremely loud on Facebook and Twitter or X, saying it's got a second season. Why the fuck would you give a piece of dog shit like that a second season? And especially since you probably can actually make up the difference for the money spent, if you spent any, because the funding for the Trashlight, questionable at least, you probably could make at least some of the money in lost subscriptions up by taking a tax credit and taking it off Disney Plus, like they did Willow. Now, Cameron is of the opinion that Willow got canceled and removed to punish Kennedy. Okay. But Willow also had a 65% audience rating on RT, and The Acolyte 18%. You gotta go, okay, why would they leave it? Iger is of two minds. The people inside Lucasfilm want it gone. The people at Disney Plus want it gone. It's basically a drag on the service And yet, Iger is not exactly ready to give up on it. And the reason I think is, and I think there are two things to this, and listen closely. One is whoever was behind most of the funding. I don't think they spent, I mean, if you think, if you're absolutely of the opinion that they spent $180 million on that dog shit, you are smoking some fine ass weed because you're not in the same, you know, universe that the rest of us are. It, from what I've seen and from what people who watched it told me, it was, it looked cheap. It looked cheaper than anything they've made. It wasn't cinematic. It wasn't Star Wars. Okay, so you gotta scratch your head and go, okay, what's going on here? So there you go. Whoever paid for it, because I guarantee you, Disney said we're not doing this. We are not giving you the green light. Bob Chapek said it before he got, after the kerfuffle with the LGBTQ crowd and the Florida laws. He didn't give neither him nor Alan Bergman gave, Dana Walden gave Kennedy the green light to do it, and she did it anyway. So how? Where did the money come from? Well, the news that we got and the story that we got was there was discretionary funds spent on the show that Hedlund did, obviously checked out. It looks like Disney World cast members' costumes for the cast because they don't look Jedi enough. I mean, they don't have the feel of what you'd see in an actual Star Wars show at all. And so there was some. But if you go to the Project Blue Stockings, what they projected their budget was about, I would say $50 million when you look at the money spent versus the dollar. And, people said they didn't see $50 million up there. So $180 million is bullshit. That is not, that I don't care who you are. You could be Jason Ward or whoever and insist that money was spent and it was up on the screen. Everybody else knows the difference. We all know the difference, right? So then we've got the other thing. All right, so you've got shady people putting money into this, and shady organizations have used film, at least, to launder money. Well, that's maybe part of it, okay? That may be part of it. So somebody was laundering money through Blue Stockings UK, Limited UK. And the other thing. The British government, like the state of California, is very good at giving tax credits and other incentives to projects being filmed there. And I could see Disney's standing and ability to film there being threatened by the government, by somebody in the government there. If you do not go ahead, or if this is after it was done filming, we're demanding you show this. If you don't, we will make sure nothing that you film here receives any of the credits, tax credits, incentives, whatever. So it would become unsustainably expensive to film in the UK if that happened. So there you go. All right, there it is. I don't know how I really feel about all of this. I think there's a quasi mix of both going on. Shady government agency, launders money in a Disney, Walt Disney World Company project, and then threatens Disney with withholding tax credits and incentives on follow-up projects. Okay, and then says you can't take it off of Disney Plus. Do I think there's going to be a second season? If I was the person demanding that piece of shit be on the screen, and I saw it, and was horrified by what I saw, I would probably not want a second season. In fact, if you've got your thing out there, people have seen it and rejected it completely. Vast majority are not watching this. Then you probably need to go to go somewhere else and try this. Now, do I think the British government is involved with some sort of creepy SJW psyop? Yeah. Look what they're doing about people posting memes. They're arresting people and violating their free speech. I'm like, you're arresting people. All right. So insisting that a woke pile of garbage get finished at Lucasfilm and given a chance to be seen on Disney Plus, I would think you would wait for the reception, see that no one liked it, and then say, fine, we don't get you. You did we got what we wanted. It wasn't received well, so there you go. Well, I agree, Mads, but with this, there's something going on that, could we get a second season of it? Maybe these people want a second season. Maybe Disney's getting threatened. If you don't make a second season, we're not going to get, I could see that happening. Really, I think that blackmail is more than anything. And really, the other stuff, I think probably has to do with the way people are, the way actors and actresses have been treated. Disney has a really bad reputation among child stars. And, there's a lot there that could really damage the brand. Okay. I mean, look at Britney Spears. She didn't get that way for no reason. All right. Something happened to her when she was young. Jessica Simpson the same way. I think wasn't she a Mouseketeer? I think she was too, I can't remember. But Lindsay Lohan, okay, all right. So, I would say, and, you know, this. Whoever's behind it is either going to be horrified by the reaction that people had to it, and they're going to say, just take it off, and then wash their hands of it. I mean, they got what they wanted. They washed, they laundered money. They got to see how their PSYOP would do, and it didn't do well. Or they'll double down. And the problem is the SJWs who like it are the ones that think Kamala Harris's price protections for grocery stores is a good idea. They're economically illiterate. The people behind the PSYOP are illiterate as far as the culture and what people want to see. All right, they're illiterate as far as the businesses. And they should have probably just been happy with Andor. Okay. They're only getting a second season of Andor, and that's it. Thanks be to Jesus Christ. Thank you, Lord. But anyway, I gotta go. I've been on for a half hour. It's Saturday. Nothing is really going on. I'm gonna try to get a little bit of a tiny workout in. So you guys have a good afternoon. I don't expect anything to happen today. I'll see you around the galaxy.